This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
If it doesn't align, you must leave it behind. Never force nothing. Welcome to Perspective with Bank. Today, man, we kicking pimping, man. I got the one and only, the legendary Ken, Pimpin Ken Ivy in the building, man. How you feeling, OG?
Hey man, I'm feeling with my hands, man. Feeling with my hands, man. Went to the doctor, had a triple bypass, had all the sympathy removed out of my heart. You know, it's a cold game.
Ooh. You start out like that?
I always tell them, man, if your enemy is committing suicide, never murder that nigga. Don't murder him, because it's the same results. Other words, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. That's been my strategy, is to deal with this game with no emotions. I try not to let my emotions get tied to anything, because you can never win an argument. You can never make a rational decision when you emotionally charged. So basically, that's how I feel, man. I feel with my hands. One dude said, is you Democrat or Republican? Is you red or blue? I said, I'm green. I'm green, baby. So I'm green.
That goes into the next. I was going to say, well, your mental is. So you saying you basically done erased all that, so your mental always on point.
Yeah, well, it's three things in life. One is EQ. That's your emotional quotient. The other one is IQ. That's your intelligence quotient. Then it's AQ. That's your adaptability quotient. Most people do well on IQ, but they don't do too good on EQ or AQ because they can't adapt to situations.
Whoa.
Let that breathe.
That motherfucker, they'll breathe, Jack. Run it back.
Yeah, so most people, they low on adaptability quotient because they can't adapt to situations,
The first one is what? EQ, that's the emotions.
First one is IQ.
IQ.
That's your intelligence quotient.
Okay.
So when you go and take the IQ test, you know why most people fail? Because it's a triangle thing that got triangles that connect dots. You got to connect these dots. You can't miss a dot. The only way you connect all the dots is you go outside the box and come back into the box. So much have an out-of-body experience. And that's how, when I deal with my situations in life, not do I only adapt to the situation, and I use reasoning faculties, but I also get outside the box. I have an out-of-body experience. And that allows me to see myself and my enemy simultaneously. Because in order to be a formidable general, you got to win the battle before you ever go to the battlefield.
Facts.
Yeah, so, a lot of times if you see me at war with somebody, I already beat them. No. Mentally, I already beat them. And then the way you keep from being destroyed or keep from getting knocked off balance is you cannot allow yourself to be emotionally charged. Never let your EQ outsmart your IQ.
So the EQ is emotions, right?
Yeah, it's emotion, and the species that's most profound in that area is the female.
Yeah.
Females have to have high EQs because they are nurturers. They raise children.
Yeah.
And you got to have a good emotional balance in order to deal with children. They cry for food, they cry for diaper change, they cry for attention. So women are more emotionally equipped. Some scientists and a few biologists even said that women are 70% emotion and 30% stability. Men are 70% stability and 30% emotion. But, when you have a child, right, you 50% the father, she 50% the mother. But when they copulate and they have sex and they, produce a child, that's 70% emotion and 70% stability, and vice versa, which creates 100% of emotion and 100% of stability going into creating that child. And some children, they don't have the proper family upbringing. You already know what happened to that. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. So all that stuff is connected to emotions and connected to thought process. And that's why I said it oftentimes that women need a man in the house. Because when you look at 80% of the housing situation, there's 80% single parenting, right? So if that's 80% single parenting, and we got all these young people killing and selling dope, and they being raised by their mother. Newsflash, who's raising the killers? You know what I'm saying? So the women is raising all the killers. They're raising all the drug dealers. So what we have to do is we got to bring that 30% emotion and connect it back to that 70% emotion. That 30% stability that she have, connect it to that 70% stability and create a family structure again so it can be balanced.
Nah, fact. So you were born in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I was born in Chi-Town.
But you got the game in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah. So there's a lot of players in the town. You know, shout out to my man Rob Robinson, Starchild, Pimpin Pope, JD. You know, these were Jim Dandy. These were my mentors. My daddy, my Uncle Greasy. You know, I was born in the game. A lot of people don't know that. My daddy was a player, hustler, straight player out of Mississippi. You know, the Mississippi dudes ain't no joke. You know, so he's straight up out of Mississippi. My Uncle Greasy was out of Mississippi. So I grew up seeing, you know, crooked dice and, you know, playing and finessing. My father used to give my Monopoly game, and he would put his dice, his cricket dice in there. He would trim the dudes that came over there, you know, from the, you know, A.L. Smith, General Motors, and
He trimming with the
cricket dice
on Monopoly. They play Monopoly.
Nah,
Or he just put the dice on
there.
their
He
head.
put the dice and make it think it was my game, and they would think.
Or he
that
go in the
play,
game like, let me get the game out my son's game.
Yeah. But he was really, you know, he was working them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My daddy used to take oil and put it all on his clothes. I used to see him in the mirror. I said, "What the fuck is wrong with Daddy?" I don't know if you can cuss on here, but I said, "What's wrong with Pops?" And then, you know, he would go down to the lunch break of all the General Motors and the Ford companies, the assembly lines, and while they having lunch, he would gamble. He'd have a Ford shirt on like he was gambling. He would trim all the dudes that work out on Friday on his Father's Day check. I mean, he was a hell of a dude, man, you know. So that's how I kind of got the mentality to be a hustler, be a player, you know, from my pops, you know. So then because he was my pops, it's just like my son. If my son say, Pimpin Ken, my dad, everybody, all the players gonna open up to him because, you know, hey man, your dad, that's my man. And that's why I say Johnny Slick, my daddy. And when I say Johnny Slick, my daddy, instinctively, they would open up to me. You know, I was getting way, way more game. So even though my father had the game, I would go to his friends and get game from them too. So by the time I was 16, I was game tight.
So you hopped in the game first off. You ain't hop in the game, Pimpin. What's your first
first
order of getting money?
A lot of niggas was sworn in the game. I was born in the game.
No, fair.
You know, I wasn't sworn. I was born. So, you know, my first hustle was me and my brother at 5 years old. We used to go to Kohl's and Jews. Those were like grocery stores, which I would call Walmart.
Facts. Come on, talk that shit.
Yeah, and we would bag people's for quarters.
Yeah.
And that's how we first got started.
Carrying groceries to the car.
Carrying groceries to the car. That was our first hustle.
Yeah.
Then my brother, he's took it up to another notch. He started cutting the little flowers, doing them little color flowers.
Yeah.
He cut them out the yard and put them in the into this little, like, you know when you get a 24 case of soda, that little box would come in. Well, he would take that little box and put the flowers in there, and he would sell the flowers and say it was for the church. Now my mama's a Christian now, right? So we know all the time, every time we sell a flower, we look at each other and say, we going to hell. You know what I'm saying? He said, we going to hell, man. Mama gonna kill us. You know, but you know, my brother was just creative, and then he went from that to stealing out of Walgreens.
Oh, now we doing crimes. At first we was just doing. Now we starting to do.
So
crimes.
he goes and he's stealing out of Walgreens. He used to take he'd get some cologne. He had these Eskimo coats back then. He'd shoot them up the sleeve, you know. So he taught me that game. Then we got caught. So once we got caught, I was like, man, I ain't doing this no more. So I was like, man, you know, they just spanked us on a hand, called our mama, and then they came to the precinct. But you know, my brother was like, to me, he was a petty hustler. I love you, bro. No disrespect, but you know, my partner JD, he was robbing banks. That was more of my level. So he said, man, we robbing banks. So they getting 20, 30, 40,000. Hustling my brother, I was getting $200-300 a week. I'm like, man, it's petty. You know, so it just made more sense to me to hustle with JD and Doozy and all the other players back in the day.
So y'all hitting banks?
Yeah, well, see, what we would do, we would go in the bank and we'd take a bag of change. And when you take a bag of change to the bank, the lady that, you know, whatever, teller, yeah, she'd take it back to the back and count it. When she go to the back, we would open up the counter and get the money off the drawer. But the second drawer was where all the hundreds was. So we figured that out. So we would take all the hundreds, and then it was a misdemeanor. So every time they would catch us, the most they can give us is 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months in the reformatory school. So, all the OGs was like, man, let the little homies go hustle and woo. So, they would hustle and then they would go gamble. The dudes that was with us, they'd go gamble. The old dudes would take their money, trim them, So, that's how that got. But that kind of got hot. Then we went to robbing jewelry stores. So I would go and do the same thing. I would tell them to go back there and clean my jewelry. When they go back there and clean the jewelry, me and my partner jump over the counter and grab the jewelry and run out the store.
What age did you move to Milwaukee?
I was about 14. Yeah, I was 14, and I know because I had this little girlfriend named Jackie. We both was young, and we went to Fulton, so I knew that's how I remember. She was my first girlfriend, so that's how I knew. She's really the reason why I think I became a pimp. She cheated on me, man.
For real?
She cheated on me with an older dude. Dude was 29. I'm like, what? And I was hustling, and man, I tried to be a little cool dude. And
she broke your heart?
Nah, she didn't break my heart. She broke my spirit. It's a difference.
It's kind of the same thing,
No, break your spirit is, man, the spirit, to do good, the spirit to be nice, the spirit to trust women. You know what I mean? At that point, I just didn't trust women no more, and what I'm saying, all my relationships was, hit them and quit them. You know what I mean? Me and my partners ran trains on Broad like it wasn't nothing. It was a different campaign. Once she broke my heart, I had a different perspective on women. And, I ended up getting her friend, may she rest in peace, Gwen. So I ended up messing with her partner, Gwen. And I think that broke her heart, and I felt vindicated.
Oh, so she was hurt because she cheated on you and you started messing with which came first? Which one came first? You messed with Gwen first or she cheated with the old dude first?
Well, Jackie, she was messing with this older dude. He stayed upstairs from her. And, he just was slick, manipulator, and, he ended up messing with her. Then when I seen her messing with him, it broke my heart, or whatever you want to say, it broke my spirit. And then I left her alone, and then I started, hollering at her partner.
Yeah.
So I pursued her real hard, and I ended up catching her, and she ended up messing with me. And, at that point, man, my mind was gone. So by the time I'm 16, what I'm saying? My partner, JD, he introduced me to the game. He had 3 bras. I said, man, let me get one. He said, which one you want? I said, I want the one light bright, then that white with the pussy candy stripe, right? And so he was like, all right, man, take her. Her name was Dirty Red, and that's in my book, Pimpology.
So he fronted you a bitch. He fronted you one first.
No, he didn't front me one. He gave me one.
What? Oh, so you ain't had the game then?
No, because me and him was robbing banks. Every time we would rob a bank, we get 40, 50,000. He'd give me 15. I give him 15. We was like brothers.
Okay.
We used to rent limousines and go through the hood and take like $5,000 in ones and just threw it out the window, because we didn't know what to do with the money, And we just wanted that attention because we didn't have a driver's license. We was remember I said we was renting limos, stretch limos to ride around the hood like we was Nino Brown or some motherfucker. Like we ran to town. You know what I'm saying? But got to remember, we was 15, 16 years old. We was kids, so that's how, my man, that was my main man. He kind of, got me, more on some player shit.
Oh, so you gone from then, right then? You took off from right then?
Well, when you go to, a lot of people know, when you go to boys' school, you become a better criminal. So here I am, I'm with Brad Christian and Jam Murray, all the players and young players in the mill. And they talk about what they did and how much money they got. You in jail, some niggas lie and some niggas, tell the truth, So we was the truth, we was really getting money. So, them dudes, they was talking about what they got and they talk about, this and this and that. So you become more of a criminal, and then you become more respected. So by the time I come home, you got to remember, when I get home, when I come home at 16, I'm seeing myself as a boss player now. Like I'm one of the elite hustlers in the game, And I was in jail with some of the elite hustlers, right? Hustlers. So you know what I'm saying? So my mind is thinking a little bit different. So now once we get into the pimp game, now we're dealing with brothers like Chocolate Dice, CB, Willie D, Kicking the Jack, Rod Robinson, Tommy Dixon, boss players, like boss pimps. And they accepting us, right? So now my mentality shot to a whole nother level. You remember I said, if you change your mentality, you can change your reality. So now I'm not thinking like a kid no more. I'm thinking strictly like a straight certified player.
Yeah.
And that's what I became. Like you said, I was off to the races, and everything I did from that juncture on was all about, being smooth. I just wanted to be a smooth dude. I wanted to, be like the OGs. I wanted to buy the Cadillac, about a Cadillac, 72 coupe, back in about 79. I'm a young kid, what I'm saying? The car was a little old, but, I was a young dude. Then, I got my Benz, later on at 21, the coupe, a 280 coupe.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying? My mind just started, and from that day on, 21, I think, I have never drove nothing else but Benzes and high-end cars, since then. So it kind of shaped me to become who I eventually became. So when you see Pimps Up, Hoes Down, you see me with, $50,000 minks on and $100,000 rings and $100,000 watches, that mentality was created. And I'm like, this is 16, now you talk about 14 years later, I'm 30 now. See what I'm saying? I'm 30 on Pimps Up, Hoes. So my mentality then, it's hyperbolic now. I'm way up there with the game,
What's some shit that you took from like that game, the bank rob and the selling the flowers, all that back then? What's some of that shit you use now today with what you're doing today?
Well, it taught me how to be an entrepreneur. That selling flowers and selling watches and hustling taught me how to be an entrepreneur. I remember at one point my brother, we was going to Jewtown. It's a place in Chicago. Everybody in Chicago know what I'm talking about. And we used to go buy slum jewelry too. And we used to buy cologne. We bought cologne too. So we would flip that, So that taught me how to become, a salesperson. Even to this day, I'm a great salesperson. So that's stemming from when I was a kid. And then, robbing banks just taught me how to be, more, aim higher. Don't be petty. You know what I'm saying? Don't go for the little money. Because my brother was going for little money, so that taught me whatever you do it big. So I said when I got in the pimp game, I said I got to be the biggest it was. When we was hustling, we was the biggest hustlers in Milwaukee. Young dudes, 15, 16, 17. The city, everybody vouched for this. When nobody had it. The old dudes, when nobody had it, because didn't nobody figure that out. We was the first one to figure out that you can't go to jail for no serious time, for taking money from a bank. And we never put a gun out. It was always a misdemeanor. So we got, we was buying Gucci and Fendi because we didn't have no other choice. We didn't even know, we know what to do with the money. We just had so much money. Yeah. 40s and Gators and stuff like that at a young age. And that kind of made me more acclimated towards culture. I was more culturated towards the finer things in life. So by the time I'm 25, 26, I ain't wearing nothing but Armani and Versace. I'm wearing nothing but Murray. I used to model for Murray. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent so much money with this shoe company. And I used to, my man, Ed Davis, who used to be my manager, I used to get my shoes, my name printed in my shoes, and they used to make my shoes over in Italy. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know I was, on some other shit. I just wanted to do it, just because we had the money.
Do you think that's what made it easy for you to knock niggas bitches?
Well, I can put it this way. I learned a secret very young in my career. And the secret that I learned, everybody was selling these chicks dreams. Everybody was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do that for you. So my thing was, hey, man, I don't want to sell the dream. I want to be the dream. So I bought the expensive clothing. I bought the expensive watches. So every time a bride see me, she seen what this nigga was selling her. So why fuck with him when I can fuck with Pimpin Ken?
Yeah.
And that's how broads used to
You
look
talking about what you doing.
And see, that was just a secret that I knew. Even though I could talk good, I was the coldest. 90% of the lingo that you hear in the pimp game is my lingo. Hover blower, barbecue meal, let your next meal be your best meal. I make success move. Hey, baby, get out the mustard and catch up. You know what I mean? I created all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's in pimpology.
Yeah.
One of the little homies, Mike Fresh, my artist, who got the song Throw That Ass in the Circle, he was like, I gave him the book. He read the book on the plane for the first time. He said, all this shit I've been hearing all these years, these niggas say it's your shit. You know, so, but that wasn't who I was. The way I beat everybody, my cheat code was to stay sharp. You know, buy Benzes, buy Rolls Royces, buy Ferraris, you know, not Ferraris, Maseratis, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Get all your jewelry customized, you know. And that's how I was beating them niggas. They was, you know, still wearing them Johnny Walker suits. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever hit yourself over the head like, damn, I put a trademark on all that shit?
Well, shit, I wrote the book. I made millions off that, you know.
Well, yeah.
You know, I wrote the other book. I made millions off of that. You know, I trademarked, you know, hip hop
I'm
fraternity.
talking about when niggas say it in their music. Like,
I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But
like,
only that Puffy, and I give motherfuckers don't like when I say that, you know, Puffy
get some ice too.
Puffy gave me some valuable game. Remember Loon?
Who?
Loon, Puffy's artist.
Oh yeah,
Loon.
yeah.
So Loon was me and him was down here in Atlanta. He asked me to come and do a song for him. So I did the song for him. And so I had to get it cleared. And Puffy had to talk to. So Puffy called me. He asked me what did I want and what was my publishing company and what can he do, you know, to make it right.
Yeah.
I said, I want Loon to come and perform at my party for free. You know, I want him to, you know, do a concert. And, you know what I'm saying, that would be reparation. That would be a good way to pay me back. So he did that, but then he said something that just as a natural born player, it sparked interest. And he said, say, man, who your publishing company? I said, huh? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, right? I said, Ken Ivy. I made the shit up, man. But that was the best thing that Puffy ever said to me because I researched that. And now here it is 20 years later, after being on 80 million records, I still receive residuals from the game that Puffy gave me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I tell motherfuckers. You know, I say, you know, a lot of niggas, you know, they want to down the nigga, you know what I'm saying, when he down, but hey man, you know, you gotta give okay, if you could say all the negative shit Puffy did, if it was true, if there was any validity to it, it was all alleged. Okay, I don't condone what he did to a young lady, and I said that on many things. I seen him do that. I'm not with that, man. You know, out of all my years of pimping, I ain't never had a domestic violence case because I believe that pimping is a non-contact sport. You know, I don't put hands on them, I put plans on them. You feel me? So you understand me? That was me, right? But, you know, Puffy did, you know, give me that game. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, you know, I mean, I think that Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, all these brothers, you know, that being brought down by the system, and I think we as black men got to know that it ain't just an attack on them brothers, it's an attack on all of us. You know, when Kwanzaa Kajufu say the conspiracy to destroy young black boys, it's serious. When Chancellor Williams say the destruction of the black civilization, it's serious. When you read Dr. Ben Jacana book, you know, the black man and now his family, that shit is serious. You know what I'm saying? James, the Stolen Legacy, the Broder Files, man, you got Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Naeem Akbar. You got to read these books, man, because these folks seriously have a vested interest in destroying the black man. You know, the black man is public enemy number one. And the reason why, because the black man have something that a lot of people don't have.
What that is?
That's melanin. And that's a chemical that is formed during the early fetus. And what it does, it produces motor skills and intellectual skills. So you can play basketball and you can think fast with melanin. If you see a banana and it starts turning black, that's the melanin. You know, a chimpanzee might have 12 pigments, black man, 11 pigments, white man, 5 pigments. If Francis Cress Welsing say, Dr.
So them niggas, so basically they medium well, we well done.
We well done, but not even worse than that.
That shit pink in the middle.
But it's worse than that for them. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said, the black man penis is the real weapon of mass destruction. You know why? Because we are the only people, if we amalgamate with any other race of people, we will wipe them out. And Mendo, who's a biologist, he said you can
That's cold right there. Run that back one time, OG. He said what now?
They said that the black man penis is the only
weapon of mass destruction.
Weapon is the weapon of mass destruction. It can wipe out any nation of people. Look at Kamala. Look at Kamala. Her father Jamaican, her mama Indian. How they turned out? They turned out beautiful black women. You know what I'm saying? Look at Barack Obama. His mama from Kansas, his daddy from Kenya. How did he turn out? A nice, handsome young black man.
That cold, cause you is right. Cause anytime a black man he can have sex with any other race, the child gonna be black. But a white man can have a baby by a black woman, the baby still be black.
Because you know why?
That's crazy.
Because Mendo is a biologist. He said you could get the recessive genes out the dominant, but you can't get the dominant genes out recessive. Dominant genes, darker genes are dominant, and lighter genes are recessive. And they know this, and that's why that's why Africa had received so many plagues. That's why that's why everybody attacks Africa. That's why colonialism existed. Because they realized that, and we populate. The Chinese, they own our knuckles, but it's 1 billion and some change people in Africa as well as 1 billion and change people over there in China.
Yeah.
The population is at par, equal. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that. So the black man in America, he's creating more and more children. So he ain't gonna wear a contraceptive. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna wear no condom. Every time a woman say put a condom on, the black man be like, oh, baby, come on, let me hit that thing raw, right? You know what I'm saying? But check this out. Hey, check this out. What'll happen if he hit everybody raw? He gonna produce a whole bunch of black babies, and demographers who predict populations in the year 2028 or 2080, we'll overpopulate them because, it's just in our genetics. We love to have sex. We're a very sexual species, right? Africans, and people of the diaspora. But, the main thing is that's why you got so many people in jail. That's the new condom. Lock them up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you say, well, Ken, verify. I'm finna justify it. America is 5%. Listen to what I'm saying, Pimp. America is 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's incarceration. In terms of eligibility of black men to go to jail, it's only 6% eligibility. That means that exclude women, children, disability, and old folks, right?
Yeah.
And we just talk about 6% of brothers that's walking around randomly in America. 6% of them are eligible to go to jail anytime from, say, 18 to 35, 18 to 40. Out of that 6%, listen to what I'm about to say. 50% of them wake up the prison system. So it's 2.5 billion people, it's 2.5 million people in jail. Out of that 2.5 million, 50% of them are African American. So that means that if America's 25% of the world's incarceration, that means 12.5% of all the people that's incarcerated in the entire world are brothers from America.
Damn.
That's because if you look at the King Afro plan, yeah, the Willie Lynch and the King Afro plan, that's some serious shit, bro. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Now,
I read Willie Lynch.
Well, okay. So what they are saying, and what they understanding is the psychology of
man, that shit
genealogy.
Cold, bro.
They
telling you how exactly. They showing you how to break a nigga, bring him out in front of everybody, pull him apart like a horse. All that they said all that in the book, right?
Yeah. Separate, turn the black against the light, the fat against the skinny.
Yeah.
They said if you could. He got it from breaking horses.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in Jamaica, so Willie Lynch was from Jamaica, so he was breaking horses. He said once you break a horse, right? Then once you break that horse, then the baby horse will automatically check itself. No,
exactly. But the mama gonna, like they saying, the mama gonna tell the son when he get here, did what they did to your dad. The boys don't be playing or whatever. It's that shit crazy.
What is the most powerful animal in Africa? The elephant, right? Yeah, the elephant. Is? Strong, yeah, okay, strength, yeah. Right? So you know what they do to elephants? They put chains and balls on their feet. And if the elephant feel any resistance, the elephant know that he's still under chain and ball. So he won't resist. After 10 years, they could put a string, not even a rope, a string on it, and he could feel the slightest resistance, he check himself. And that same mentality he passes on to the baby elephant.
Yep.
It's all conditions and it's all condition and response. Pavlov, Pavlov, he was like something like a little psychiatrist, and what he would do, he would feed these dogs every day. He would feed these dogs every day at a certain time, but he would use the bell. He'd ring the bell, the dogs would run. You know how dogs sound. You know what I'm saying? And then they'd eat. So when he ring that bell, them dogs would come, even though he don't feed them, they act like they still conditioned like they're gonna eat. That bell has conditioned their mind. So we have been social engineered. It's certain things, like Scarface, New Jack City, Colors. You remember Colors, right?
All of it. Yeah,
Ride the Colors, what they was doing. They was banging in Little Rock.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me a movie can create a phenomenon that goes throughout the world? Everybody Crips and Bloods now. Because of one movie. Everybody want to be Scarface. Everybody want to be big-time drug dealers because of Scarface.
Yeah.
Everybody want to sell the projects and sell crack in the projects because of Nina Brown. Everybody want to be pimps because of Pimps Up, Hoes Down. American Pimp. That's why I denounced Pimps Up, Hoes Down and American Pimp live on your show. Because that's my perspective.
Why you denounce
it? I denounce me and you don't fuck with it no more. I don't fuck with it. It has sent a lot of young black men to jail. Trump is talking about, and I know, we both, Trump, he all right. I ain't got nothing against him, but I'm just saying, he just proposed to death penalty for human trafficking.
Oh yeah, when they turned
death penalty for trafficking drugs.
So that's what death penalty for trafficking drugs.
Yeah.
Man, that's cold. So that's what Trump proposing.
Yeah, it's all over the line. It's him. It's his words. It's not I can't make this shit up, bro. It's
death
serious.
penalty for drug trafficking.
Death penalty for human traffickers and death penalty for sex trafficking and for drug traffickers.
That's when you knew the pimp game was over when they turned into human trafficking.
When the white man changed his game, I changed mine.
I'm saying when they said it was human trafficking, like
I said, man, I'm out of here. I'm gonna back up off this shit like the OJs and spin up off like the barcades. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here, Jack. Fuck these people. They ain't gonna lock me up for no goddamn life. Hey, one day is a life sentence for me. Shit, jail ain't no place for me. The last time I committed a crime and went to jail was in 1985. I ain't been back since.
Hey, did you ever get soft on one of your hoes back in the day though? Like, damn, I like her though.
Well, the crazy thing about that was the guy Pimpin Pope, who I was in prison with. He the one told me, that it's no difference between an in-pocket bitch and an out-of-pocket bitch. I said, what you mean by that, Pope? He said, you treat all bitches the same. You know what I mean? You can't fall in love. Love is like a 4-letter word, like fucking shit. So fuck that shit. You know what I mean? That's how I was taught. You know what I mean? I know people go, nah, I don't feel that way no more, y'all.
You having flashback? You relapsing?
It might be some, something going on. People might want to give me some money. So I work with a lot of corporate people. I would think I'm cold-hearted, but So I never. But you know what though? After I was out the game, and a lot of people gonna laugh at me about this. A lot of my pimp partners. I said, damn, I can't believe I let all them fine motherfuckers get away. I had some of the baddest bitches in the world, man. I'm talking about all persuasion, Asian, man. I'm talking about Puerto Rican, Mexican, Colombian, Dominican. I had the baddest bitches in the world. I had Colombian bitches and Cuban bitches so fucking fine. Give me all their money.
How you kept the hoes in pocket though?
Well, the game is all about instructions. So the best way to keep a child from getting in trouble is to keep them busy, right? Keep them doing something. People always say, give them some recreation, give them something. So the main way to keep a hoe in check is to keep her working. So they hardly ever see me. So it wasn't no confrontation. If the bitch at work, how me and her gonna have a fight? bitch gonna call me from Magic City. Hey, I'm fucking mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm at the Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the motherfucker. I'm playing golf. I'm having fun. I'm doing player shit.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways I did. I kept on what we call the game automatic.
Yeah.
That's when
you kept them all automatic.
Yeah, that's when you send a bitch out and she get your money and she hardly ever see you. You know what I'm saying?
You think if you ever got caught up like in a pimp Rico your hoes would have told?
hell yeah, man. Shit, bitch got a mouth. Shit, you know what I mean? Shit, man, some of these hoes sing better than the motherfucking Beyonce, man. and Jennifer Lopez and Mary J. Blige, they da. You know what I'm saying? But see, that was another thing when Pimp, you know, because see, when I was a kid and you was with a hoe, the police would say, hey, man, you and your girlfriend, y'all go home. Now, you can get, I mean, a married man, a square dude can get caught up. He could get caught up just being, you know, in a relationship. You beat your woman up and you can go to jail for that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, I was glad when they said that, you know, human trafficking, a woman can snitch on you and you can go to jail. I said, good. I said, I'm out this shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna let one of these hoes tell on me. You know what I'm saying? It was too much power. I'm serious. Think about it, though. That's too much power, man.
Yeah.
A motherfucker can send you to jail for life because they got an attitude, or she see you with a badder bitch come in the household, and she said, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she too cute. She gonna take my place, and he ain't gonna like her more. Let me do some crazy shit.
Did you send out, what you did, send out a group text, told them it was over? What you do?
Nah, we didn't have group text back then.
What you tell them, Pip?
What I did, man, basically, you know, I downsized, right? So I went from like 8 bitches to like 4 bitches, 4 bitches to like 2 bitches, 2 bitches to 1 bitch. And when I got to that last bitch, I kind of like pimped her away from me. You know, I was just doing crazy shit, you know, not answering phone calls, you know, not, you know, really paying that much attention to her. And she kind of got the message and she went and started fucking with this little square nigga. You know what I'm saying? Me, but that was the best thing that ever happened to me because that's when I put my movie out, Pimpology, you know. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn how to, you know, deal with distributors. I did a distribution deal with Scriptmaster, Southern Music, Mike, what's his name? Mike, he was from here. I forget that white dude name, but Mike something. Everybody know who he is. Everybody, Lil John, all of them know him. So I did a distribution with him for the DVD. Then I started doing other deals. I did the HBO deal, you know, got them from a major bag, you know, and did a few more joints. And, you know, so now, you know, I'm the hoe. That's why people say, why you still call yourself Pimpin Ken? Because I'm Pimpin Ken. I'm pimping me now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm still pimping. I'm pimping on myself. I'm sending myself out the door. I'm going to work myself way harder than I'm going to work a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's why they be like, Ken, don't never stop working. Yeah, because nigga, that's my hoe. What do you mean? Nigga, that's the bitch now.
Go get it.
That's the bitch. Ken the bitch. Yeah, I know niggas don't understand that game, but that's a whole nother level game, man, where they don't know how to send themselves, man. You know, because I feel like I said, you go back to my days, you know, of bank robberies and jury store, you know what I'm saying? I was sending myself then. Now I'm sending myself legitimately.
I always tell them on the product. I ain't gotten it. You're not getting that in transaction, but me. Mm-hmm. I ain't got nothing to sell you but me.
Right. That's what I do 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I sell Pimpin Ken. Yeah. So everybody's like, man, why would you go with that brand? Well, the brand kind of took off on its own. You know, once they had a Pimpin Ken shoe, can you imagine Murray having a Pimpin Ken shoe? That's why I called myself the 2, 3 of the P. I was Macca Jordan. He was Micah Jordan. I had niggas wearing my shoe too. You know
Who you were?
Yeah, I'm talking about
you Macca Jordan.
Yeah, but see, they only paid $120 for Mike. You had to pay $1,200 for my shoe, the Pimpin Ken shoe. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had 2 or 3 shoes, and you know, can't too many niggas. I'm the only nigga that I know, unless you can dig up some research, that was in the game that had his own shoe.
How hard is it, like, for people not to get a misconception of you from then to now?
Well, Whitney Williams. I did a book called Pimpology with a major corporation called Simon & Schuster. They the biggest publishing company in the world, and they also did a book with Whitney Williams. So when I went on her show, that was the first time. It was love until I went on her show. And Whitney Williams said, I'm not having a pimp on my show. It broke my heart, right? Because, you know, I wasn't pimping no more, and I was trying to change my life. You know, I'm like, what did I do to this woman, right? Yeah. And so Simon Schuster called her and said, you're having him on the show. He's signed to us. You're signed to us. And, you know, Simon Schuster owns CBS. Mm-hmm. So it's a $1 billion company. And she didn't know how powerful them people was. And then that's when I knew that Simon & Schuster and CBS had my back. that made her put me on the show, and I did this show. And then, you know, I started seeing other little stuff, you know, from other women, you know, who didn't understand the game, who thought, you know, that all pimps were, you know, abusive, they mess with underage women, and that they force women into prostitution. But they don't know that the real game that I come from is a game of choice. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never forced a woman to do nothing. Every time I got chose with my mouth closed. You see what I'm saying?
Real shit.
Yeah. So
Real
you know what I'm
shit.
saying? Like I said,
Real
I you know, just man, people used to put women used to come to me that were squares, doctors, lawyers, and everything. They say, "Who you play for?" You know, they thought I was a football player. You know, I used to be so shy. You know, and I was like, "Nah, I don't play for nothing, man. You know, I'm in the NBA. I'm in the NPA." They said, "What's the NPA?" I said, "That's the National Pimp Association." You know, and they like, "What the hell is that?" You know, I just be fucking with them, and you know, but you know, a lot of those women would come, believe it or not, and leave their jobs. I had an accountant who was making big money. She just wanted to learn the game. They got an affinity to the game, you know, because a lot of women respect the pimp because they know that he's a different type of animal. Most men are subservient and weak, you know, and her curiosity, you know, and curiosity costs, you know, nosy costs. You know what I'm saying? Me believe that. Nosy costs. You nosy about me, it's gonna cost you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what a lot of women, you know, they do. You know what I'm saying? They explore. And sometimes, you know, curiosity kills the cat. And that's how, you know, if you stand on your business, you be like, hey, this is how this go. This is how that goes. So yeah, you know, it was, you know, very few women that I couldn't turn out. I had a system that if I want, you know, if I felt that I wanted you, and you know, I feel that you had a little horn in you anyway, you just don't know it.
Yeah, you just don't know it. Yeah,
I'm gonna get you. I got you. I'll tell you. I'm telling you, man, my record is impeccable. You know, Floyd Mayweather ain't got nothing on me. When it comes to flipping them, hey man, I flip them like IHOP. You know who IHOP is? That's the pancake people. They flip pancakes. You know.
You say. So, do you think any female could be turned out?
Every female could be turned out.
I believe that too.
Their mother turns them out.
Yeah.
First thing they say, get you a doctor, get you a lawyer. They teach them to be hoes before they even become hoes.
What you mean?
Because they make them chase money. They tell them, find you. Why you don't want little Tommy on the block? You know, why? You know, no, don't mess with him. He ain't no good. You know, and they
get
tell
somebody
them,
that's gonna take care of you.
Yeah, tell them and if you get married, you get 50%. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about it. You marry a doctor, he leave you, honey, you're gonna be okay. You know, this is what the parents, so those, we call them the mother pimps. Then, you know, we got the sister pimp. You know, we got the, you know, the gorilla pimp. It's just so many levels of the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj and all these sexy red, they makes it easy for these hoes to be hoes now. I'm talking about, I be in the club, man, my booty hole round, my brown, and they just everything that these girls are saying, they mimicking. And then, you know, when we was kids, how old are you?
I'm 46.
Okay, you 46. Okay, when we was younger, I know you old enough to remember that, man, you had to damn near look for a hole in the daylight with a flashlight. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to find them.
Yeah,
you know what
it was hard to find them.
Now you have to you have to use a microscope to make sure that this is not a hoe.
Yeah.
Like, who is this bitch? She ain't got no clothes on. I can see her coochie. I mean, I'm talking about she just shaved today, you know, she got hair on the pussy. I mean, you know, it's just it's a whole different level.
Yeah.
My mama is 85 years old. My mama would have went crazy 40 years ago.
Yeah.
She would have called all these women devil.
She'd have called them all devil.
She can't call them devil though, because my nieces and my kids, they all act like hoes.
Look, let me ask you something.
I hope I don't get no trouble. This is like one of these don't get in trouble.
How would you if shit wasn't sex trafficking and you know what I'm saying, shit was now, how would you facilitate hoeing in this day and time? Like, you think it would work?
Well, before I left out the game, and I'll get this up free, I hope that a lot of young people don't take it the wrong way.
Hold up, let me pick right quick.
Okay.
Hold up, Pop.
Okay.
You remember the question, right?
Yeah. But when you talk about that, bro, it's a word called personality, right? The word personality comes from the word persona, right? It's a word called pussy, right? Pussy deals with a woman's vagina, right? So the persona of the personality should be, we don't sell pussy, we sell pussyality.
What you mean?
That means that you give a trick the impression that you like him, that you want to have sex with him, that, you know, he's the best thing since the toothbrush, right? But in reality, you know what I'm saying, he never gets the pussy.
What he get?
The personality. The
Like,
personality.
in person?
The personality of a woman who perceive or make the trick perceive that he's going to get some sex.
But they gonna be in person or just some texting? What's like, how this work?
Well, no, you know, most men, whether you believe it or not, are chasers. You know, they say the prize, you know, come before the chase. So the chase is the science in the game of real hoeing. A hoe, this is from some boss game perspective. A hoe is not really a real hoe until she know how to sell pussy without laying down. But she know
I
how
can
to
go for that.
She know how to level a trick up and
Yeah.
and get into a trick's head and make him think she's gonna marry him.
Yeah.
Make her think she's gonna fuck the shit out of him. Make her think he's gonna suck her dick and never touch him. And you know, both of us didn't seen women that we like, right? Mm-hmm. We took them out to eat, you know what I mean? We wine them and dine them. But that funky bitch didn't give us nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? We mad as a motherfucker. Like, man, this bitch is bullshit. So we say, well, let me try one more date. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get on the second date.
They want your hoe?
Huh?
They want your hoe right now?
No,
just fucking with you.
hell no. No, man.
I'm just fucking with you, Pimpin. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I retired with Bush.
Oh, with Bush?
The first,
The dad.
the first Gulf War.
The Gulf War.
The
I'm
first
just
Gulf
fucking
War.
with you, Pimpin.
Yeah.
He said, hell no.
Yeah. So it when the woman when she don't give her body up, when a man don't give his body up, that's when you got the power. The minute you give your cookies up, the minute you lose. So real hoes know that, you know what I'm saying, me, that you can, you know, I'll give you a better example of that. How many women in Atlanta, ATL, that goes out to dinner with these niggas and don't give them nothing?
All of them. A lot of them.
Okay, so these hoes is eating every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off of these niggas, and they gave up no sex.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you got to take, and this, but
So that's horn. That's what you said the word was?
That's pussyality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause see, my man, I'm gonna get back to your question about, you know, how you pimping 2024.
And a nigga shoot a bitch a couple hundred, take it to eat in. And still don't get.
Well, you know, white men don't do that. You know what white men do?
What they do?
They get online, they get on Craigslist, they get on whatever they call today, and they book them a bitch, and they get a bitch $200 and it's over with. Niggas want to have watermelon, they want chicken, you know what I'm saying? They want to spend the night, they want their feet rubbed, they want a massage, and when they go home, and you know what I'm saying, your girl look in your phone, and you know what I'm saying, she see that other broad's number, you know what I'm saying, and you get caught, you wonder like, damn, you know, now you got a fucked up situation going on. But what they don't understand is that the white man is not as good of a husband as people like to project him to be.
Why you say that?
Because I'm a former pimp, and most of my clients were white men, doctors, lawyers, you know. But these black women get a bad rep, black men get a bad rep, and it seems like white households are better than black households when white men are the biggest tricks. You know what I'm saying? They just know how to. They know how to cheat. Niggas don't. Like I said, niggas want everything. They want chicken, watermelon. They want the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Where, you know, a white man, he just want to hit it and quit it and go back to being a senator, go back to being a judge, go back to being a lawyer, go back to being a police officer. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. But like, go back to what you said. That's one of the ways. OnlyFans, that's another way. If I was, shout out to Sauce Walker, you know what I'm saying? He had a bitch show her feet and made $3 million off of just showing her feet to tricks that had feet fetish. That's cold game. OnlyFans is another way. Modeling agencies, you know what I'm saying? Where you get bras and women and you had them be what they call maids. So they work in these very exclusive communities, and they have maid service, but they dress up real sexy, and they make a lot of money, and they don't have to sell no pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's another good way of doing it. And then
But that shit sound legal though. I'm talking about all that legal shit though, right?
But you said how would you pimp in 2024?
I'm talking about like.
If I was selling,
if it wasn't no sex trafficking laws.
Oh, if it wasn't no sex trafficking law, I'll probably go to Vegas and open me up a brothel, a whole house. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's the best. Or whatever. If it's legal in every city, you can do it in Atlanta. I have whole houses all up and down. Morehouse probably kick me. His family probably kick me out all up and down that strip. You know what I'm saying? I know they gonna let me do it in Buckhead. Where they let them Chinese do that.
How would you market the hoes though?
Huh?
How would you market them hoes?
Shit, I mark them on IG. Shake that ass. I have Mike friend, throw that ass in the circle. She bounce when she walk. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I had that shit popping, man. Hey, I had the baddest IG hoes in the world, man. Legally? Shit, if I could go to jail, oh, man, yeah. If I was young, I'd do that shit, but I'm too old.
Oh, so you denounce pimps up, hoes down, but not pimping.
Well, I believe that in every situation, when you read my book, it's a pimp and a hoe. I believe that the United States government is a pimp. Think I'm lying? Don't pay him on April 15th. See what he do. He gonna put your ass under pimp arrest. You see what I'm saying? I think that anytime you have a situation where a person is gaining and somebody is giving, that's a pimp and hoe situation. All of us at some point play the hoe. All of us at some point play the pimp.
I agree with that.
But you just got to make sure that you're more on the pimp side.
Yeah.
Like you're pimping this platform right now. This your hoe.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, perspective is your hoe.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Pimpology is my hoe. Anything that I do, those my hoes. Anything that bring money home, that sock it to my pocket like a rocket, that's my hoe. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they get the term pimping misconstrued. But if you go and look at all of my reviews on Amazon and on Audible, it's practically white people. Talking about I deal with this in my business. My employees, sometimes they act the way you said it, your girls used to act. Sometimes, I deal with this scenario. You know what I mean? People, like I said, Susie Choosy. I got a chapter in my, one lady, she was an insurance lady. She wrote me, emailed me. She said, Mr. Ivy, she said, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you on that point. You know what I mean? And she said, some of these people, they work for me, and I give them millions of dollars, and then they go and they join another company.
My bad, cutting y'all. So you end up going to prison, right? 10 years.
I went to prison over a period of time for 10 years.
Okay.
It was never one. The longest I ever did in prison, my last bit was the feds. I did like 5.5 years.
How did it shape your perspective when you was in there? Like, did something click in you when
I first went there, I went in boxing. I was knocking niggas out. You know what I mean? I was in the hold all the time, And that was, I guess, I was a little dude. I was about 160, you know what I mean? But my daddy taught me how to fight. We used to go to this place called Braggs and Brooks. It was a boxing gym. So I went in whooping them, you know what I mean, and checking them and, I had a fight with this dude named Carl Gilbert and Tony Chaney. And when we had a pool, because they used to just play pool and tennis and stuff in there. So I'm having a pool fight with him and all that stuff. So that kind of set my precedent, So I became what they call a bad criminal. You know what I mean? So I was going to the solitary confinement a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of shaped me. Then as I got older, when I went in, as I got in when I think I was 20 something, when I got in my 20s and I went to the real prison, the Green Bay Reformatory School, I had a couple fights. But niggas wasn't fighting in there. They was staffing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to change my perspective. So then I found out that in jail, books and knowledge was the thing to do. Because if you was a smart nigga in jail, that's like having a brand new Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
A Malcolm X type nigga in jail, he runs the prison. So, I couldn't read and write too well. So it was a book called Iceberg Slim, Pimp Story of My Life. And so while I'm in jail, they pass books. So everybody was passing books. It took them a week to pass it. It took me almost 3 months to read the book. And niggas was laughing at me. So either I whoop these niggas for disrespecting me, or do I go to the prison GD program and get me a equivalency diplomacy test?
Learn how to read.
So I learned how to read.
Yeah.
And I got me a diploma. Then I ended up going to college, and I made the dean list. Then I started reading books. I couldn't stop reading. I just read probably 1,000 books, and I got really smart. And then I started controlling niggas like that with my mind. Mm-hmm. And then, I became like a little boss in the prison. So when I went to the feds, I joined the Moore Science Temple. Those the Moors. And when I joined them brothers, I became the leader of that organization. So I held the prison down for like 5 years. My whole bit, I had 200-300 niggas up under me at any given time because I was the leader of the Moore Science. I was the Grand Sheik, and I was fortunate enough to get taught by a sister named Christy Price Bay. She was the Prophet Honorable Noble Drew Ali's secretary. So I had to do what they call in the prison, when you set up a chapter or you set up a temple, you got to go through the chaplain, and then you got to go through the secretary. She was Prophet Noble Drew Ali's secretary, so she helped me set up the temple, and she was teaching me all the teachings. So I had a jump on a lot of brothers. So I know a lot of secrets of the Moore Science Temple, and so a lot of older cats, I would give them that wisdom that was coming from her. They thought it was coming from me, but it was coming from her. And they would say, how do you know that? How you know that? And she would send me literature, Prophet Noble Drew Ali with different, leaders and stuff, Marcus Garvey, and, people at that time, and different literature that just everybody wasn't privy to. And that's how I kind of, shaped who I was as a man, and I stopped fighting. So, I didn't have too many fights in the feds. And, I kind of got out. I thought I was going to be a Malcolm X type of dude. And my partner, same bro, what I'm saying? He hit me with some money and some woo-woo-woo-woo. And, what I'm saying? I tried to do, and that shit didn't work for me. I mean, I gave a nigga an ounce of dope, man. It's so crazy, bank. I gave a nigga an ounce of dope. And I just thought, they was going to bring my money back, right? I go over to the nigga house. I'm knocking on the door. His wife looked out the window. He looked out the window, knocking on the door. I said, hey, tell so-and-so to come here. You know what I'm saying? She said, he ain't here. And I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Man, I said, this shit is crazy. Then I tried somebody else, and so I ended up going into debt. So this broad, named Curlin and Tangy, they chose up, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of helped me get out of debt. You know what I mean? I knew that,
That wasn't for you.
That wasn't for me, man. Yeah. Even when we used to have shootouts, like I talk about getting shot. Niggas shot me twice. So niggas, I'll be on the block, and I'm an East Side nigga. They call themselves East Side gangsters, like gangster disciples. In our town, they gangster disciples, but they call themselves East Side gangsters. So I'm over there with these brothers, and they get in the shootout, bam, 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 and niggas shot me, I shot back, right? And so now I'm in this shit, I'm like, man, this shit ain't for me. It's like everywhere I go, I'm
a pimp. I ain't no motherfucker.
Man, I'm saying, hey man, I even caught one break.
So everything pushed you to pimping.
Man, I caught one break where I made about $250,000. I was in the white neighborhood, and all of them was smoked out. They was all smoked out. And so, I had some niggas, I ain't never worked, I had niggas working for me, right? So I had put my niggas down, and they was hustling and bringing me the money. And so, I'm out the feds, right? So this nigga, the police detective car came back. They came, and I said, these motherfuckers finna raid us. So my nigga Teddy said, dawg, they ain't finna raid. I said, these motherfuckers finna raid. I said, put all that shit in acid. I said, destroy all that shit. And then I had 9 more joints left. I think I had a 9 left. And I gave that to my nigga Jay. I said, yeah, man, you can have this shit, man. And I stacked up about $250,000, had plenty of money. And niggas was like, man, you through? I ain't never touched that shit again, man. That shit scared the shit. I seen a detective car, and I'm from the feds. You know what I'm saying? I seen the biggest drug dealers in the world. Nigga, I ain't finna go. I don't want to go back there. You know what I'm saying? Man, nigga, fuck this shit. I said, put that shit in the ass and throw that shit away. Gave up. My man he tripped out. I gave him 9 ounces. He was like, what? Man, fuck this shit.
Go ahead with it.
Man,
so you know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Well,
set traffic down these hoes.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say. Hey, man, that's my favorite saying. If you could walk away, you could get away.
Them facts right there.
Hey, man, you
can
look
walk
here.
away, you can get away,
If you got to run away, you going to get caught. And
you gotta run away, you gonna get caught.
Man, I always
Give it to him one more time, OG.
Man, if you walk away, you going to get away. If you have to run away, you're going to get caught. And I learned this the long way. And guess what? Way long after I'm out the game, I did the book Pimpology. I'm at this hotel. No bullshit. I'm at a hotel. I'm in my Maserati. Bad motherfucker. Car Paul. That motherfucker was cold. I had the book, what you call that shit? Pimpology in the window. They doing the sting operation. They come out, police arrest me. Try to charge me.
With what?
With the game. Because I got the book. And they doing all kind of shit at this hotel. But what happened, my partner, I still fuck with street niggas. To this day, I fuck with street niggas. He was doing his thing. So I come up there to fuck with him. And, he was in the mix of some shit.
Yeah.
And they tried to put me in the mix. And I was like, man, I said, that's crazy. I said, man, I ain't got away from this shit. I'm done with this shit. And these motherfuckers tried to charge me up, right? But my lawyer, he came to me, Teran, shout out Teran, my lawyer. My lawyer, he gave me one of my first cases. He was a district attorney.
Yeah.
When I come out of prison, he a lawyer. I hired him because he did something for me, man, that no lawyer, no district attorney did. He dropped one charge because if he wouldn't have dropped that charge, I'd have been doing 7 in the feds and 7 in the state. He made the charge go away. We were buddies ever since, you know what I'm saying? And, so he told me, he said, Ken, let me tell you something. He said, the police makes the fucking cases. He said, the attorney general and the district attorney prosecutes the cases. Never argue with the police. He said, never trip with the police because the police can make up some shit. He said, they the one make the cases. They create the evidence. And he said, you see what happened with Mark Furman and O.J. Simpson? Said he planted evidence. So he was telling me that. He said, there's another thing you need to know, Ken. I said, what's that, Mr. Teran? He said, the police work 24/7. He said, you go to sleep. While you sleep, they still working. They pass the case on to the next detective. You know what I'm saying? And he said, man, that's all the reason why that you shouldn't do anything.
Do you think...
And I wasn't even doing nothing. He just gave me that little game.
Do you think Pimps Up, Hoes Down movie is equivalent to like young niggas online doing that shit they doing with the guns and all that?
Well,
like y'all tell, because was you full-fledged pimping then when the movie came out?
Yeah. That was all real.
That's what I'm saying. So do you think that was the same thing like niggas online?
Yeah, we snitched on ourselves. Yeah, we snitched on ourselves. And that fucked the game up because how it fucked the game up, dude, man, before Pimps Up, Hoes Down, man, I could look at a bitch and touch her, she a milk. And now, you know what I'm saying, because we done gave up all the game, you look at a bitch, she turn her head. 'Cause we said in the movie, if you look at somebody, you know what I mean, that mean you want to fuck with her. So women was up on game. So a lot of game that we was employing back in the day, they went up on it, so it was easy to knock bras. So now that Pimps Up, Hoes Down and came out, we done told on ourselves, we done gave up all the game, everybody done spilled the beans. Now these hoes, they more smarter. Why would I fuck with Bank? Why would I fuck with Pimpin Ken when I go on YouTube and fuck with Don Juan?
Yeah.
For free. Fuck with Pimpin Ken for free.
Yeah.
These niggas giving the game up. So that's what fucked the game up. You know, that was one of the things fucked the game up. Two, a lot of these guys, man, they don't understand. The reason why pimping was so good back in the day because we had a track. See, the track was like a culture. And everybody knew the rules and regulations of the track. But basically what that means is that, you can't look at a pimp unless you're ready to pay him. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out there unless you got a pimp. If you choose up on another pimp, you got to definitely give that pimp the other pimp number so that pimp can call that pimp serving the news, blow a fuse, and put his bitch up under some new rules. And tell the bitch, hey man, break the plate. That bitch don't eat there no more. And I hope you ain't got no silverware, nigga. So that's that's the reason why the game was the way it was. Now if you get a woman and she's working on Backpage and she's at the Hyatt, and then, you beat her up, she can leave you and go to the Marriott and put up a fake picture you never see again.
Yeah.
So the game made the game weird. You know what I'm saying? The game got the game fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that, bitches, won't do what they used to do. If the circumstance was the same, the game would still be the same. But the game is not the same no more.
Yeah. So do you think it's some niggas still get money out of that shit though, right?
Man, I know a lot of niggas that still get money, but you know what? You'll never know them. The real pimps, ladies and gentlemen, is not the brothers you see on the corner, not the ones that's beating up these women and doing human trafficking. These dudes are, they live in penthouses, they drive the best cars, they have the most beautiful women in the world. They women only deal with high-level tricks, like senators and judges and stuff. That shit y'all see on the track and on TV, that's bullshit. The real game is motherfuckers you won't even know. You won't even know him if you see him. You wouldn't know a real pimp if you see him. He ain't gonna look like no pimp. He don't want to be exposing his hand. That shit y'all looking at is shit from the Mac and Dolomite and Superfly days.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a slick competition with another pimp? Like, oh, he think he, how nigga?
Oh yeah, I knocked out every nigga that was a Super Bowl pimp. I made it personally to find out who was his baddest bitch, and I'd knock his bitch.
Would you say every nigga,
all across country, every nigga that was pimping in my era, tell you, Ken got me for a bitch. That was the fun part. I wanted to knock them niggas. I wanted to be Nakarachi. I wanted to peel them, like a banana. You know what I'm saying? Every time I would peel them, I would put it in the newspaper. I said, niggas, in the news, you've been peeled for the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Me, and that's how that's how I played it, and that's how I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Me, and I feel that's how I got my name, Pimpin Ken. Because you got to remember, when they vote you Pimp of the Year, you got niggas from New York, Chicago, Detroit, Alabama, Kentucky, all these niggas voting for you as Pimp of the Year. I won that shit 3-4 times in all categories: international, local, national, any level of pimping that you could win, I won it, hands down. But the niggas that I was punishing and niggas I was knocking was the ones that was voting for me. Because they was the only ones that can attest to the fact that this nigga's a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was from a little small town called Milwaukee.
What nigga you look back on, you like, nah, that nigga, that was cold too?
Well, man, Rob Robinson was one of the coldest niggas. Sonny Page, Father Divine, JD, international niggas, my nigga Jap was cold. My nigga Supreme was cold. Smiley was cold. You know what I'm saying? Big Silk, raw nigga, you know what I'm saying? Man, just Gino, so many niggas, man, that was really about this life worldwide. You know what I'm saying? All Memphis niggas was cold. Dow Baby, my man, it's just so many niggas, man. It was just a lot of cold niggas in the game. But what separated me from them, most dudes, was my intelligence. I'm highly intelligent. You know what I mean? I'm every time I go to college, I make the dean list. I ace everything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how smart I am. You know what I'm saying? And it's because at one time I was dumb as fuck, and I wanted to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put in your head, you put in your hand. So, I made a concerted effort to make sure that I read every book I got my hands on. And so when they looking at hoes and when they looking at the streets, they're looking at it from one perspective. When I'm looking at the streets, I'm looking at it as a business. You see what I'm saying? So I had a different perspective,
You can put it in your head, you can put it in your hand. Them facts. Hey, let me ask you something. A lot of artists and shit, they adapted to like the pimp culture after y'all dropped that, right? Mm-hmm. Which one of them niggas you say like he cold? He could have been a player.
Well, 50 my favorite. I'm gonna tell you, 50, man. Niggas don't know how cold 50, man. If you really just talk to 50 about some pimping, he know the game.
For real.
He know the game. I'm like, he really know the ins and outs, and I believe he might not admit it. I believe he had a bitch or two before. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. 50 really got the game. Who else? Rollo, he got the game. The nigga, Rooster, he got the game. Silky, he got the game. Definitely Supreme, my son, he got the game. He rap about that shit. He really know that shit. And who else? Man, so many young dudes. Goldie, he ain't no pimp. He's a player, but he got the game. There's a lot of niggas that rapped about it, but I'm trying to think. Pimp C. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I gave Pimp C a white bitch one time.
For real?
Yeah, because, niggas was talking shit, and I'm riding with this nigga, we ride, we got compressors and fucking Bentleys, we big Jews, big Jews. Me and Pimp, everybody know, they see my movie, The Best of Both Worlds. Me and Pimp did it the biggest. So this one little bitch, she was in my mix. I said, look, go holler at Pimp, bitch. And, Pimp put his foot down on that hoe, you know what I'm saying? And, Pimp, he knew the game. Bun B, believe it or not, he know the game. Bun B, he just, he a family man, but he know the game. Who else? Snoop Dogg, he cold. E40, he from the base. Too Short, oh my God.
Yeah,
man. I used to go to Short house, man. When he was living down here, we used to go to his house, man. And, man, Short kick pimping all day, man. I remember I was staying at that Motel 6 over there on P Street right now.
Yeah.
I was staying there back in the day. And I ain't know nothing about Atlanta. I just stayed at the first hotel I seen. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed at the Motel 6. And so I told Too Short came over, he picked me up. And, man, he was like, yeah, man, you might want to get a better hotel. I said, okay, sure. You know what I'm saying? And so we kicked it, man. And a nigga take me to a mansion, right, over in Gilbert Forest, big-ass house. I said, damn. I said, man, he right. I might need to bust a different move, right? And so, we just kicked it for years, man, about the game. I did 2 albums with him, So he know the game, man. It says, man, so many of them. Mac 10, I just sit up with him hours and taught him the game. Cause we did a movie called It Ain't Easy. And he had to prepare for the movie, so I gave him a lot of game. Yeah, who else? Rapper. It's just so many of them, man. I mean, I know a lot of y'all gonna say, man, Ken, you didn't say my name, but, hey, man, to all y'all who really official like a referee whistle, hey, man, everybody know.
Exactly. What Don Juan mean to you?
Man, he the dude, man. I'm from Chicago. See, y'all don't know Don Juan like we know him. We know him when he was really, really out there. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up in the green and gold Rolls Royce, man. 7, 8 bitches, you know what I'm saying? He the king of the game, man.
78.
Man, this is back in 74, 75. That man was mashing like an Idaho potato, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was really getting it, man. You know what I mean? And, he changed his life, man. But, name anybody that has been around long that maintained as long as he did maintain. A lot of people say, man, Ken, who got more game? You or Don Juan? I say, hey, man, listen, I ain't even got a dog in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because, you got to always give it to the man who started it. He brought me to Chicago.
Yeah.
He introduced me to Pimps Up, Hoes Down, HBO. He was the one that was busting all the moves. He was on Phil Donahue. He was on Oprah. He was the man. You know what I'm saying? He that dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's our hero. He's Chicago's hero. Don't get it mixed. I'm born in Chicago.
Yeah.
You understand me? I love all, God, Burrell, Max Strong, all of the giants, Fluky Stokes, all the giants from Chicago. I love and respect my elders. You know what I'm saying? And Don Juan is one of those elders. But, you know what I'm saying? I moved to Milwaukee and I made a name for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say who's the best Pimpin Ken or Don Juan. I say Don Juan is in his area and I'm in my area. We both good at what we do. And he taught me and Reverend Seymour. They taught me the game, man. They taught me the game. I ain't know nobody selling no DVDs till them niggas sold me a DVD for $100. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, a book for $100? I said, nigga, who in that book? You know what I'm saying? But we bought the book for $100. We supported him. All the players, Frank the Bank from Oakland, all of them, we all supported. We gave the man $100 for a book.
Yeah.
That's how I know that I could charge $100 for a book. That's how I knew that I could charge $20 for a DVD. Them niggas gave me life-saving skills.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for them, man, I'd be probably in the penitentiary or probably, who knows, dead. So I thank Bishop Don Juan and I thank Snoop Dogg and T.I. and 50 and Lil Jon and my man Too Short and E40 and Ice-T and Big Daddy Kane. All those albums I was on, I thank all those brothers because they really saved my life. It gave me a perspective, and Don Juan and Seymour kicked it off. It wouldn't be no Pimpin Ken if they would have never invited me to the Pimps Up, Hoes Down, to the Players Ball at the Brothers Lounge in '95, and then East of the Rhine in 1970 and 1986. Yeah, 86 they invited me to. 96 they invited me to the East of the Rhine. That's when I met Pimps Up, Hoes Down, and that's all because of being with Ron Bishop now. So Bishop, he's my hero. You know what I'm saying? My daddy's my hero, but he's one of my mentors. We don't talk every day. I don't see him every day. We ain't got no love fest, nothing like that. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, man, you saying all that, man, but you don't see Bishop every day. No, I don't see him every day because I'm really not in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
When people invites me to a player ball, I pretty much be like, man, I really ain't interested, because, first of all, it ain't, I got the hip hop fraternity. So I got 10,000 members. I got 100 executives. I got 37 cities. And these people, they kind of look to me for leadership. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, if I can attend a Bishop birthday party, I will. But yeah, I look at Bishop as one of the kings of Chicago.
Yeah.
Hands down. Along with Larry Hoover and all my man, what's my man, the Vice Lord brother, Willie Lord, King Bean, Jeff Ford. We got a lot of giants in Chicago.
I want to get your
Bishop one.
I want to get your perspective on a few topics. Just call out the word you tell me. Manifesting.
I think that once you dream and you have goals, to bring it to fruition, you have to manifest it. And that's one thing I believe in. It's manifestation. I believe in, whatever the mind believes in, conceive, it can achieve, it can manifest. I believe that one have to have a burning desire in order to manifest his dreams and his goals. One have to be persistent in order to manifest. One have to be tolerant in order to manifest. You have to have a pleasing personality. All that ties into manifestation. And manifestation has a lot to do with character. When you think about character, you got to think about the alphabets, A, B, C, D. You're going to always spell dog, D-O-G, and cat, C-A-T. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are the alphabets that's in the alphabet. Those are principles. Those are characters, right? Your gift will take you where your character can't go. You could take the nigga out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the Negro.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? But when you got character, you don't get no contract from the NFL for $50 million and then be in a bar fight. You know what I'm saying? Your character will not allow you to blow that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? Alphabets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Numerical system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't get to 10 until you go back and get to character 1 and put the 1 with the 0 to get to 10, then you get to 1 billion. So that's all got to do with manifestation. It's mathematics.
Politics. What's your perspective on politics?
Well, I call it politics, because a lot of people have this perspective that we live in a democracy. But the word democracy is nowhere in the Constitution. It said this republic of ours, we live in a republic, and America is a corporation, right? So therefore, it's a business. And a lot of times people say, I'm going to vote for a Democrat, I'm going to vote for a Republican. But we see what happened with Gore and Bush. Gore won the popular vote, but Bush won the presidency. Mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton won the vote by 2 million voters, but Donald Trump won the presidency. One of the things that you can always think when you think about politics is only one thing to remember: money. If you want to know who's going to win the election, look who put the most money in there. Even though McCain was expected to beat Barack Obama. Barack Obama done something that was very unique in politics that a lot of people don't know. He did. He went to Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook at the time, and still the owner, and asked him, could he put donation buttons? Over billions of people donated to Barack Obama. Now he got a $2 billion purse.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to defeat the Republican establishment. You know, that was never heard of before because he had money. You know, Donald Trump, he's doing well. He was on the trajectory to beat Kamala Harris. But when that money started pouring in, it changed the narrative.
You're right.
All you got to do is look at the Democratic convention versus the Republican convention. Spent, obviously, millions more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had the top speakers in the world. Follow the money. That's what it's all about. Politics is all about money. And that's why I call it politics. And one thing about I said a prostitution, I meant to say politician, they prostitutes. They for sale. You know, I know you done bought a few of them probably. Like,
yes, I wish.
You can afford them, man. All you got to do is give them a little campaign money. And you know, when you think about Lil Wayne, and that's some good politics right there. Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Why would Donald Trump, who obviously is remote, light, I mean, it's like as far as from them as the moon is from the sun in terms of culture, why would he get them apart? Because the guy that went to Donald Trump to get them apart, guess what? He was a donor. Donations. That's what politics means, donations.
Oh, so you got more money, you can be whoever you want to be.
Anybody that figure out how to break the Da Vinci Code or how to get the money can win the politics, can win the presidency because it's all about money. And then once you get the money, you know what I'm saying? And if you play the game, you know, and the people want you, and they see that you know how to play their game, and you sit down with them, you tell them, hey, man, you know, I'm going to do exactly what I want y'all want me to do, you're going to get in there. Mm-hmm. That's how they play it.
Religion and spirituality.
Well, you know, that's a touchy subject matter, you know, but I think that religion sometimes can be the opium of the people. As Karl Marx said, what I mean by that, I think some people get drunk on religion and they overdo it, you know, and when it's really about salvation, you know, it's about beliefs, you know, but sometimes people take it a little bit too far, I think, and they, you know, they argue with people over shit that don't even count no more. We're talking about 5,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. People will sit there and talk about Jesus and they never met the man. They talk about Moses, they never met the man, you know. But religion is good, though, because religion has three-part things. You know, when you talk about the Bible, it's biblical, it's allegorical, and it's historical. There are some historical facts in the Bible. There are some biblical things, you know, that happen biblically that, you know, one should use. And then there's some allegorical things. That's why they say Jesus spoke in parables. He spoke allegorically, meaning that, I fed 5,000 men with one loaf of bread, or, you know, turn these sticks into stones, and, you know, I mean, just different allegoricalisms, you know, that help people interpret things. Because when you speak in parable, like if I tell you, I say, hey, Bank, a fish that never opened his mouth never get caught. You understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be, man, don't snitch. It could be like, hey, man, you know, don't talk too much. You know, it could mean, but that's how the Bible and that's how religion is, you know. Some people, you know, they just take it a little bit too far.
I agree with that. How big are you on forgiveness? Like,
well, man, forgiveness is a gift that I give to myself, not that I give to others. I'm not gonna let nobody live in my head rent free. If you ain't paying me, hey, man, dude, the minute you cross me, I forgot all about it. You know what I mean? I erase you. You know, and I think I talked about it. You talked about it on one of your other shows about dead weight. You know, sometimes you gotta get rid of that dead weight. You know, and every time, you know, you allow somebody to to like say if my mama, right, she can be in the church and somebody can owe my mama $50. My mama spent 20 years. I can't stand sister so and so. But what she's doing, she's creating unnecessary stress. You know, and the minute my mama let so and so go and she started feeling happy, she got the Holy Ghost again. You know what I'm saying? But she could the fact that this woman would change her opposite every time she would come into church, it was messing up her religion. It was messing up her, you know, her thing. So, you know, I told my mama, I said, Mama, forgive for yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't forgive for others. If I forgive you, brother, you know what I'm saying, Bank, I'm not forgiving you, you know, because I'm weak. I'm forgiving you because if I allow that to persist, if I allow those thoughts to keep going on in my head, those negative thoughts is going to bring me down over a period of time. So you got to just let the shit go, man. You just got to just say, you know, I had so many people cross me over the years, and people would be like, man, why are you still hanging out with that dude? Or why you let him come back? Or why you know, didn't excommunicate this person? I was like, man, listen, man, you know, I'm not finna give that person that much power. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna let him think that he's bigger than Ken because, you know, Ken get mad every time he see him. You know, and there's some things, man, you know, you can forgive, but you can't forget. Mm-hmm. You
know. I got this spot on here where I wouldn't. Let me think about it. That's how you answer, all right?
All right.
Back then, would you have to support your daughter if she told you she just want to be a hoe?
I wouldn't. I mean,
that's fucked up.
Let me think about it.
Let me think
about it. Because, you know, in so many ways, man, you know, if she came to me and that's what she really wanted to do, I would have to support her. You know, that's my daughter. I mean, I would. So, you know, but let me think about it.
Yeah. Would you marry one of your ex hoes? Like,
let me think about it. But no, the reason why I wouldn't, and to be honest with you, I thought about it. The reason why I wouldn't because
thought about it.
Now think about this here, right? If a woman is out there selling her body, right? If a woman is out there sleeping with all type of men, if a woman is in the club dancing, right? Do she really love me? Because if she loved me, she wouldn't give her body away. She wouldn't be having sex with other men. So I know.
So you don't think it can be like a bitch can be delivered?
Well, yes, there are some partners that I have that have married their people, right? And I respect that. But, you know, me personally, you know, I mean, you know, if you do, that's your perspective. But I don't think that a pimp and a hoe could have a real relationship, a love relationship. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it would always be like, for example, if somebody do something to you, always be in the back of your head what they done to you, right? It will always be in the back of your head that this woman has slept with 200-300 men. You know what I'm saying? And it always be in the back of her head, this man sent me out to sell my body. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just think from their perspective, it would be difficult, you know.
No, that's hard. Would you ever consider, like, teaching just a pimp class, even though you can't do it, like, you just teach niggas how to break a hoe?
Well, you know, I done wrote books. I done did many interviews, and I talked about the game. And, you know, if I was to teach the game, I would teach it from another perspective. You know, I would teach it from a perspective of intelligence. I would teach it from a perspective on pimping on your corporation, you know, pimping on your materials, you know, pimping on a book or something like that. You know, that's how, when I talk to young people, that's how I give them the game. I say, look here, man, you know, my book is my hope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my business is my bitch. You know, that's how I look at it.
So if a woman chose up right now, if a woman chose up right now today, legitly want to break herself on you, you'll take that money?
No.
She want to invest in pimping.
You talking about a hoe or a woman?
She's not a hoe, a woman.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, I'm waiting on Oprah to come on but give me that bag, man. Where Oprah at, man?
I seen the hoe, but that's still pimping, though. She just saying, I want to turn it over. I want to turn it over.
Yeah, I see what you say. I misinterpreted what you said, but I would never involve myself with the game
No,
again
yeah.
because I know that they're gonna hang me. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman wanted to contribute to something I had going on, then I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Be honest, I'm just being real. If somebody wanna, do something for me, you know what I mean? Hey man, ain't no nation like a donation. Hey, keep it real, man. Ain't no nation like a donation.
Real shit.
Your teeth feel better now.
This shit coming around, I'm gonna put ice on it. That's what I'm doing, ice anymore. Shit hurt.
Okay.
Nah, man, book of the week, Pimpology, 48 Laws of the Game.
Yes, sir.
Let's dive into it one time. What's in there?
Well, Pimpology is primarily, it's a book on value. It's a book on skills. It's a self-help book. And the primary purpose of the book is to try to show people how to look at pimping, how you look at an everyday life situation. If you go to McDonald's, you order 2 all beef patty, a special sauce, lettuce, pickles, onions, sesame seed bun, they're going to make you pay at window 1. That's the Big Mac. But you don't get the Big Mac to window 2. If you mess with me, you know what I'm saying, you gonna have to, if I'm gonna take a chance, it's gonna be purse first, ass last. If I'm gonna take a chance, I need my money in advance. You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm handsome, pay my ransom. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The McDonald's and Burger King and any fast food philosophy used, the insurance company, give me all your money, and then when you die, then we'll bury you and we'll give you, your family, the insurance policy. It's just pimping on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Credit. You know what I'm saying? That's some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? People, get credit. You know what I'm saying? You give people interest on the money that you borrow. Over success, compound interest. It's crazy.
Nah, for real. Let's jump into the hip hop fraternity before we get out of here. What's that?
Well, the Hip Hop Fraternity is an organization that I started 4 years here in the city of Atlanta in Buckhead in my condo. And, the purpose of the Hip Hop Fraternity is to bring brothers and sisters together under one auspices, up under hip hop. We know that people will go to the mosque and be with Mr. Farrakhan. They will go to the Potter House and be with T.D. Jakes. But increasingly, our young people are going into the studios, before they go to church, before they go to the mosque. More people spend more time in the auspices or in the space of hip hop than they spend doing anything else. So we had to create an entity, right? So I went to the trademark people and I got the name Hip Hop Fraternity, and I wanted to create a place where brothers and sisters can unite from all over the world. So we got 37 chapters, and we got 100 executives, we got 10,000 members. And most of our people, they meet on our social media, which is hhfmedia.com. We also are on my own magazine, because I wanted to create media, because that's one of the sectors of power, media. You go to Hollywood, you go to New York, that's media. So we created our own magazine, our own social media site, our own radio station. Another one is Wall Street. That's another sector of power. As Van Jones like to call the 4 sectors of power. And then Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? That's where you have the financial institution. Well, hip-hop is the new Black Wall Street. You look at our sector. In the sector of hip-hop, we created 5 billionaires, Jay-Z, Puffy, Dr. Dre, you know the names. You know what I'm saying? And an untold amount of millionaires. If you look at the GDP of Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1920, the GDP was $2.5 billion. Jay-Z is worth $3 billion. He's worth more, $500 million more than the value of an entire city. Kanye was alleged to be worth $9 billion. He's worth 3 times the alleged value of a city called Tulsa, Oklahoma, what we call Black Wall Street. So we know that hip-hop is America's new foreign policy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're working with the White House now. It says Celebrities Against Gun Violence. We on the phone all day. They want to know, hey, can you get iced tea? Can you get this person? Can you get that person? Because when they go overseas, believe it or not, Brother Bank, when they go overseas, with those foreigners and those Arabs and all them people in Dubai say, do you know 50 Cent? Do you know Snoop Dogg? Mm-hmm. And they got to hear this continuously, and that's why they bringing the hip-hop community into the politics world. So if it's our culture, our call, then we need to control every aspect of it. So we control the politics. We just sent King Moore over there to the White House for for gun violence. We control the Black Wall Street side, and we also control Silicon Valley. That's the next sector. You look at Mark Zuckerberg, you look at Elon Musk, you look at Bill Gates, Silicon Valley, the fourth industrial revolution, where the money is at, on the internet, in tech. So, we created our own, we got a CTO by the name of Zai Shadow. He created our own website, our own social media site. So that's what hip hop fraternity is. A lot of brothers and sisters say they're independent. We don't speak it. We is independent. We have our own clothing line, HHF jackets, HHF clothing. We have our own film. We have our own literary agency. This book here, Boosie and Ice-T book, we did that under my literary agency, Hip Hop Fraternity Literary Agency. So, we want to show black folks how to be real independent and how to control the four sectors of power. Washington, D.C., politics, Wall Street, financial institutions, Silicon Valley, the tech world, and Hollywood, the media. So if you can control the media and if you can control the perspective, then you control the world. And that's what we all about, man. And, we brothers and sisters, we feed the kids free on Monday at over there on the south side at the Ice Bar. We don't feed them no more. They don't let us because they sell them food. But before that, we fed the kids. We let them perform for free. We let them get in free. It's absolutely free. Been free for 4 years. I haven't charged not one artist a penny because we want to create a American Idol / Apollo environment where we can dissect and we can extrapolate the talent that comes through those portals, right, of ours, our ecosystem. So we get a chance to see most of the talent here in the city of Atlanta because we have a hub and we have a place where the children can go. Yeah. And now we're working with some people and some investors because, we just formed HHF Media Group, which is a C Corps. And basically what that means is that, we have other companies, we have children up under that. We have 9 children, which is those companies that I told you, those are subsidiaries. So we file under 1123. Which means that, we can leverage each one of those businesses through a PG, which is a personal guarantor. So as we do business with credit with Dun & Bradstreet and different other names, it's quite a few of them. I don't want to name all of them, but it's quite a few business credits that you can get. You can leverage that. And we also have 1 million stocks that goes for $100 a piece. So people can invest in those stocks. And we also doing equity investors. So the same thing they did with Vitamin Water. I just talked to Nick Cannon. We working with him. We working with my man Charlemagne. And Envy. About coming in as equity investors. We working with Langston King, who's managing Floyd Mayweather. So we in conversation with all these people. We have contracts that our lawyers have constructed to work with these people so they can buy into something black. If you're out there buying into the hip-hop fraternity, you can reach out to me. You can hit me up on my DM, and we will allow them to purchase stock because the stock give us leverage, right? That gives, a lot of people say they don't have no money. Well, if you create a business, a C Corp or S Corp, then you have stock, and you can have a par value. Our par value is $100. We have 1 million stocks, so we worth our capitalization at $100 million. You see what I'm saying? And now, what that does is that allows us to go raise money with the venture capital, angel capitalists, private equity, seed capital, and culture capital. That's the equity side of it. So, it's not just us just doing stuff. We're creating financial literacy within our community. We're teaching young people about cryptology, about the blockchain, about ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, NFCs, NFTs, cryptology. They have to learn all this because, average young African American that do a record deal, Brother Bank, they go in there, right, and they say, I want a deal. Well, the record label, as Tony Mercedes like to say, they give them a 15% royalty. So you get 15% royalty, you sell 1 million records, dollars worth of records. You get 150, they get 85, they get 850,000. Okay, if I went up to you and I said, Bank, here go $150,000 for a $500,000 Rolls Royce, you're going to say, he must think I'm crazy. You You know what I'm saying? But our young people give their intellectual property away every day. Every day. And then they get a 50% production deal. What does that mean? That means that if they shoot a video for $1 million, they owe $500,000 to the record company. And what happens is you got to look at the record label as a bank, and they charging our young children 100% interest. You don't find too many artists that goes into a label and come out not in the red. You know, Nelly sold 10 million records, 50 sold went diamond. Both of them went diamond, but at the end of their careers, they was complaining about how their record label was unfair, because a lot of them don't know what an escalation clause is. They don't know what a de-escalation clause is. They don't know how to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, they first generation millionaires, and they don't have a lawyer, and they don't have nobody to speak in their interest. And so that's what the hip hop fraternity does. That's dope. We try to cover all those areas. You know, like Mike Fresh, you know, he signed with us. Goldie, you know, he signed with me. You know, a lot of people sign with me, you know, and what I do is I teach them on the backside about business. You know, like I tell people, a lot of people say, you know, Boosie book deal, I did that deal. I had to go negotiate with the white folks. I had to go in there and, you know, sell Boosie to these people, you know, to get him 6 figures. Same thing with Ice-T. But, you know, people don't want to, you know, I always say, man, y'all look at me like I'm the worst person because I have the title pimp or because I've been a convict. Guess what? Newsflash. Malcolm was a pimp. Malcolm went to jail. You know, Malcolm was a burglar. Malcolm had white women. You know what I'm saying? It's in his autobiography. But when you say Pimpin Ken,
it's because you still here. But when you gone, they gonna treat you like you.
Yeah. So that's my point. But see, in reality, you know, we do a lot of great things for the community. You know, that boy right there, Spike, that's Ice-T co-defendant. It's called split decisions. You know, I had to go to L.A. and sit down and talk with these dudes. And then, you know, when you look at that KOD, when my man Arcanelli bought that $20,000 worth of liquor, Boosie liquor, I sold it to him. You know, a lot of stuff people don't know I'm involved in, you know, them deals with Netflix and all that shit. I'm involved in that shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just try to keep it cool because I know the first day they gonna say Pimpin Ken, you know, that nigga's a pimp, he's slick. So I just stay the fuck out the way. You know what I'm saying? And then when the deals come out, they go, let me see, can I get that book?
Go ahead.
Let me show you. I don't know if I messed the camera shot up.
No, you good.
Oops. I've been sitting down so long, my knees is choking. You got a toothache, I got a feet ache.
See, all my shit hurt. Back everything hurt.
Y'all see that? Can y'all get a close shot on that?
That's the camera right there. Yeah.
That's me and Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Yeah, this me and Boosie right here. You read the part, it's got my name in here, Ken Ivy. So you know what I'm saying? You know, people don't realize how business might have. See, the greatest thing in the world is to have a nigga like Pimpin Ken that's an ex-pimp on your team. I'm gonna show you how not to get pimped by the label.
Yeah.
That's why the labels don't like me. They like, this nigga know too much. This nigga got his own record label. He got his own fucking award show. We're gonna award you. It's called the Hip Hop Fraternity Awards.
I need that. I appreciate it.
Man, we've been doing that for 4 years. I've been calling you about it for 4 years. DJ Screen came to the first and the second one. Yo. Yeah, he came. So what I'm saying is that how dare you, sir?
Who you mic up, OG? They
gonna say, how dare you, sir, do a hip hop fraternity awards when we already got the BET and the MTV award. We got hey man, it starts from 0 to 100. We gotta quit crying and talk about I didn't get no Grammy. I didn't get no award. We got to start our own stuff. We got to support each other.
Nah, that's crazy because niggas don't want to make nigga shit valuable. They want to make everything else valuable than the shit that's right there.
Like the shit show. Man, that shit is brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been to your shows. Yeah. People throwing stuff and ain't nobody fighting. Man, that shit crazy. I'm like, man, somebody gonna get their ass whooped. This motherfucker first two, after the second time, so Bank got this shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? But I was kind of like, man, I got to get the fuck up out of here, man. I can't. Man,
Oh, you thought it was gonna turn to something else?
hey, man, them niggas was like, man, everybody was throwing shit at these niggas, man. I was like, man, these niggas ain't gonna do nothing. You know, but, you know, that just go to show you the brilliance of us. And then, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, when it's all said and done, like you said, I'm gonna be dead and gone. But one thing I've learned, my brother, is that in this world, you're gonna do two things. If you're a progressive person, you're gonna leave a legacy. Those my first 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
The next 100 years is gonna be a dynasty. Hip-hop fraternity is gonna be a dynasty. I'm leaving a dynasty for young African-American men to have free will and free thinking, where they don't have to be subjugated to the record labels. What we're building our own machine. Because if we can stream live from hhfmedia.com, and we can, your album or your movie, then we don't need Netflix. If we can put up an album and put a paywall behind it and sell 20, 30,000 people to 20,000 albums that day, it goes automatically to Billboard. We have 10,000 emails that we can push one button, just like Live Nation, Rock Nation, and let everybody know in our ecosystem that, hey, man, this is what's up next. You know, and that's what we're creating. So, like you said, 20, 30 years from now, how does this look? It looks like Universal. It looks like Live Nation. It looked like CNN. It looked like Lionsgate. It looked like HBO, Netflix. But it's going to be African-American owned. That's why on the jackets we put our culture, our call. Because hip-hop is the second largest export of American exports.
So when it get to a point, the time that them folk want to buy in, you ain't going.
Well, let me say, no, but the reason why I wouldn't sell it, because, you know, you got to remember, I'd had damn near everything. Me and my partners used to say, man, we might not never get rich, but we know how that shit feel. You know, I done had the Rolls Royces, I done had the Rolexes and the jewelries and the big houses. So, you know how I feel to be rich. So you can't sell me a dream. You know what I'm saying? Me, I am the dream.
Nah, they ain't not no dream. They got the check. We like this. We got the check.
Well, the only way I would sell it is that a black person own it, a black person at the helm of it, and that we continue to run it. So, but if we can get $2 billion from, say, a major hedge fund or a major, you know, private equity company, or from a venture capitalist firm, you know what I'm saying, we would take that money, but it would be based on us taking the stock and raising the value of the stock, where we still keep the controlling interest.
Yeah, because you know hip-hop attorney is still a hoe now.
Yeah.
Can't fall in love with the hoe. We already said that. That's something you...
But you know what? I don't fall in love with it. And that's why we do have a S-Corps. That's why we are welcoming investors in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if a person come and they got the right amount of money and they want to invest in hip-hop fraternity, they're more than welcome to invest in it.
No, I want to buy it.
Huh?
I want to buy it.
It's not for sale.
I'm just saying, if a nigga want to buy it, the right money, you would never sell it.
If you bought it, I would sell it to
Not
you.
me. I ain't got the money.
No, but I'm saying for African American bought it, we want it to forever be African American owned. That's all I'm saying. You know.
But right now, for Mike Zuckerberg, when them nigga hear that shit, like, man, you know what? I like that. I want it.
Well,
and to give you a blank check till you write your number on there.
Well, if he write his number on it, then we control the narrative. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, this is going to have to be. You know what I'm saying? If you put up X amount of money, then, you know, 51% of the company have to be owned and operated by African Americans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whether it's the stockholders or whether it's the, you know, the black owner, whether it's Magic Johnson or whether it's Michael Jordan, any of our billionaires, you know, Robert Smith, you know, we want them to own it because the object of hip hop fraternity is our culture, our call. See, the problem, you know, Damon Dias said it best. You know, the problem with most of our businesses around here, you know, is been sucked up by culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? I mean, too many people own stuff that belong to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, too many people got their hands in our cookie jars, and that's why we can't never get ahead. And then they dilute it, and they put their little twist on it, and next thing you know, Miles Monroe or not Miles Monroe, but Miles Davis be Kenny G.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of people think Kenny G is Miles Davis. They think Kenny G is colder than Miles Davis, the father of jazz. But he's not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think Herodotus, who's the father of history, is the greatest historian of all time. But he's not. You know why? Because he's the stepson. How you gonna be the father of history when you quoting Egyptian history? If you read Herodotus' book, it's about Egyptians. If you look about, you think about Kenny G. Kenny G got to give his origins to Miles Davis, John Coltrane. You see what I'm saying? These are the serious issues that people don't want to face in our community, and people don't understand. As Dr. Claude Anderson said, we got to practice group economics. Because at the end of the day, you know what this shit is all about? Economics. All this shit is about economics. Money changed everything. And I learned that as a young boy in the Morris Science Temple. The Honorable Noble Ali said it takes finance to uplift the nation. And that's what brothers don't have. That's what a lot of brothers don't understand and don't comprehend. That it takes finance to uplift the nation. And the only way we're going to ameliorate our conditions, we're going to have to get some money. Because it takes money to get your teeth fixed. It takes money to buy them books. It takes money to you go to the restroom. It takes money for toothbrush. It takes money to eat. So let's stop being naive and think that it ain't about money, and think it's about the Holy Ghost, or it's to think it's about Assalamu alaikum. It ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Those are all just sleeping pills, that they give you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to throw an alarm in the graveyard. Niggas wake up. You know what I'm saying? We got to wake up, man, and we got.
So you gonna throw an alarm in the grave,
man? That's what hip hop fraternity is, man.
Real shit.
You ask me about hip hop fraternity, it's a long answer, but I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. Ownership. You know what I'm saying? Investing, saving. Understanding the market, understanding the mega trends, understanding diversification, because we have to diversify. Any people that don't diversify is going to perish, because you can't be in one sector of society and expect to just make money off of Facebook. Let me tell you the fastest way to make money. I ain't never said on nobody. I'm gonna give this to you. I ain't never said there's nobody platform. Rubber, steel, and concrete. If you want to get a plane, you need some steel. You gotta put some rubbers on that motherfucker though. So when that motherfucker land on that concrete, he gonna be safe. If you want to get a motherfucking Rolls Royce, you gonna need some steel. But you also gonna need some motherfucking rubber. You gonna need that rubber when you're driving down 85, when you're driving down 20 West. That's the quickest way for us to get out of our condition. We invest in those three areas, we can never go broke. Because we're gonna always need some rubber, some steel, and some concrete.
Facts. I appreciate you pulling up on me.
I ain't never gave nobody that game. Hey, niggas gonna want that. Nah, y'all niggas, they trying to steal my shit, man. These niggas be stealing my shit, man. I'm telling you, man. Back these motherfuckers.
I already know.
Hey,
be remixing
I got so much game, I have to hold this shit in.
They be remixing your shit.
Man, listen, man. Niggas will take my shit and act like Pimpin Ken never existed. And niggas I give niggas game on business and shit like that. Like I said, I have friends that are European, white men, right? That's extremely rich, and we have some of the most powerful conversations in the world. You know what I'm saying? And they, like you said, have offered me money, and I turned it down. Because I know as an intelligent African-American man or Moorish American that the salvation of my people, of my young people, is going to come through examples. I don't know nothing about Kamala Harris politics. I ain't know nothing about Barack Obama's politics. But one thing I do know, the image of Barack in that White House did a lot for our people. The image of Jay-Z being a billionaire does a lot for our people. The image, if she wins, of Kamala Harris being in that White House, is going to do a lot for our people. And that's where we suffer most. Not only in confidence, but incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So we got to have competence and confidence on display at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm here to do with the hip hop fraternity. It show our brothers confidence and competence so they can say, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Oh, Kamala Harris, that's how you become president. Oh, that's how Barack became president. That's how Robert Smith, Vista, which is a private equity company, that's how they became millionaires.
Nah. Thanks for coming, OG. I appreciate all the game. You've been dropping jewels all night. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, come into the Big Fat Network. We appreciate you, OG.
All right. They can follow me at RealPimpKen_.
Let's go.